Welcome once again. Today on this channel, I am with my wife, Sayanthani.
Hello everyone, nice to be on this channel. But let me make my position clear. I'm not a great chess player and I really do not know how will I be of any help in this video.
Don't worry, Sayanthani. Neither am I a great player. We will analyze the game together. It is via such analysis that will help us and our audience improve understanding of chess. So let's not waste everyone's time and start. So we are going to analyze another beautiful game played by Vishwanathan Anand. This game was actually played in 1987 in World Junior Chess Championship held at Baguio City. Baguio City. Where is this city? Baguio City is a mountain resort city located in northern Luzon in Philippines. It is also known as the summer capital of Philippines owing to its cool climate. In this game, Anand had white pieces and his opponent was K Ninov, a Bulgarian international master. So let's look at this particular game. The game started with e4, c5. So the game started as Sicilian Defence.
Sicilian Defence, what I had read, was regarded as a very bad opening till 20th century. Is it correct?
That's correct. But chess theories change with times as deeper understanding keeps getting revealed. This is the beauty of chess. What was once regarded as inferior opening by masters like Paul Murphy, William Stennett, Philidor is today the most popular and best scoring response to White's first move, that is e4. In fact, the first move d4 is a statistically more successful opening for White due to the high success rate of Sicilian defense against e4. Today, 17% of all games between grandmasters and 25% of all games actually begin with Sicilian defense. Anyways, let's get back to our game. As I said, it started as Sicilian defense, e4, c5, knight f3, e6, d4, c into d4, n into d4. These are all standard Sicilian defense moves. And now black comes with a6. Now this move leads to what is known as the Khan variation of Sicilian defense. This variation has a simple objective. Just wait and be flexible to what white moves. But remember, it's a very solid opening. It was used by Bobby Fischer in the last game of 1972 Fischer-Spassky match in which Bobby Fischer defeated Boris Spassky using this same Khan variation of Sicilian defense. Anyways, in this game, white continues bishop d3, to which black responds bishop c5, attacking the undefended white knight. White responds knight b3, this goes to bishop a7, and white plays nc3. Honestly speaking, to this bishop a7, I would prefer playing queen g4, which leads to some sharp lines. For example, if I play queen g4 to this bishop a7, it would lead to nf6, queen g3, d6, nc3, nc6, castle, b5, a3, bishop b7. Now this position has got active possibilities for both the sides. I would have generally preferred this position as compared to the position which happened in this game when to bishop a7 white played knight c3. So to knight c3, black responded with knight c6. This led to queen e2. Black responded with d6, bishop e3. Now to bishop e3, black played bishop into e3. Now this e3 square soon turns out to be a very important square for white queen. In fact, nowadays, as a result of this game, many players try delaying exchange of bishops to avoid this queen being on e3. So we'll see why this e3 square for queen is very important in this game. White played queen into e3. This was responded by knight f6. The game till now looks quite solid for both the sides. Development is nearly equal. Ideally, the game should have continued with white castling queenside. Generally, the game continues as queenside castle from white, kingside castle from black. White goes for kingside onslaught with f4. Black goes for queenside development with queen c7, bishop e2. The idea is that soon black is going to play b5 and bishop b7 is going to come in with attack on e4, and white should be in a position to defend it via bishop f3. So anyways, bishop e2 is responded by b5. White plays a3. Black can play bishop b7. White can respond by bishop f3. Rook comes to c8, and this line gives black enough fire on the queen side. And maybe this is the reason why Anand chose to deviate. So after nf6, instead of going for long castle, Anand played g4. According to Anand, this was an on-board development. He had not prepared this move in his practice. This was a move which he came up right during this particular game. So he played g4. Uh, in response to g4, his opponent thought for quite some time, and he came up with the move b5. But honestly speaking, knight into g4 is actually a better move. So if black would have played knight into g4, this would have followed by queen g3. Knight comes back to f6. Queen into j7 is responded by rook g8. Queen goes to h6. b5. Long castle. Knight comes to e5. Rook at g1 offering for a rook exchange. Knight into d3 check. C into d3. Rook comes to g6. Rook into g6. H into g6. And this is an equal position. Let's see what happened when black played in response to g4 when black played b5. b5 was followed by long castle. Long castle, short castle from black side. White played g5 and black responded ne8. Ne8 is a very, very cramping move. I really do not like this particular move. In fact, ng4 was much better move in response to g5. You play ng4 and you can continue by queen g3, b4, knight e2, and this is still quite an active position for black. But anyways, black played the cramping ne8. This led to a pawn onslaught on the king side by white. White responded by f4. Black responded b4. Knight comes to e2, a5, knight b d4. This is a curious move played by Anand. Knight b d4. I get the logic of playing knight b d4, but honestly speaking, I do not find the knight on c6 to be a very important knight to be traded off. I would have personally liked Anand playing knight d2 instead of nbd4 in response to a5. So let's see what happens if you play knight d2. Knight d2 can be responded by a4. White can go for king side onslaught with h4. Bishop comes to b7. h5, d5. Knight comes to f3. Knight goes to e7. We respond e5. Black plays a3, b3, bishop a6, knight e d4, bishop into d3, rook into d3, knight goes to c7, g6, h6, nh4, f6, f5, queen d7. This would have been a very, very attacking position for white. And I love this position, and hence I would have preferred knight d2 over nb4. But anyways, to a5 in the game, Anand played nb4. This was followed by exchange of knights, knight into d4, knight into d4. Now let's look at this particular position. Looks quite equal for both white and black. White has got a kingside majority, and it's gonna be predominantly a kingside play for white. On queen side, black has got some semi-open files and can do a lot of attacking play on the queen side. But honestly, from Sicilian defense perspective, this is a very peculiar position. It's not quite good for black in terms of the Sicilian defense theme. What is the theme? In Sicilian defense, the main theme is that black counteracts with queen pawns advancing and attacking white's minor pieces at b3 and c3. However, in this position, both b3 and c3 squares are vacant, and hence it's not a thematic Sicilian defense position from black's perspective. Let's look at the game, how the game continued. Black played queen b6 and white responded to e5. Again, I did not like this move by Anand. I think to queen b6, you should respond by h4, because h4 will be countered by a4, h5, a3, b3, queen c5, e5, bishop b7 attacking the rook. Rook comes to e1, d into e5, queen into e5, queen c3. Now there is a definite advantage to white in terms of space, in terms of initiative. I think this would have been a much better position what white could have imagined. But anyways, in the real game, to queen b6, white did not play h4, white played e5. To e5, black responded bishop b7. Uh, Bishop b7, I get the logic. It is the longest diagonal in the board and it needs to be captured. This is a very beautiful position for bishop, but honestly, my analysis shows that bishop a6 is much better alternative as compared to bishop b7. So against e5, instead of bishop b7, if you play bishop e6, it leads to f5, e into f5, e6, knight c7, e7, rook f e8, bishop into f5, bishop b7, bishop e4, g6, bishop into b7, queen into b7, rook h e1 supporting the pawn on e7, knight d5 attacking the queen as well as the pawn on e7, queen goes to f3 pinning the knight, rook a7 unpinning the knight by supporting the queen over here, h4 comes in, a4, knight f5. This knight f5 unlocks an attack from the rook to the knight. So if you take g into f5, your queen can take knight at d5. This is exactly what can go on. G into f5, queen into d5, queen into d5, rook into d5, rook a into e7, rook into e7, rook into e7, r into d6, r e4, and this is a draw position. So bishop a6 leads to a very equal position for both black as well as white. However, in the main game, white did not play bishop a6. White played in response to e5 bishop b7. Now bishop b7 led to rook h f1, d into e5, f into e5. Now this is the critical position of this particular game where black played a move which led to complete debacle of black's position, and this move was rook d8. Okay, now this is the blunder which led to loss of the game instantly. Now I want you all to please pause this particular video for next 5-6 seconds. Try to find out which is the best move for white as a continuation in this particular position. It's not a very difficult move. Take 5 to 6 seconds. Try to come up with this particular move. It's white to play and win in this particular situation. Please take your time and come back. So ready? Okay, Santhony, what did you find?
I'm still thinking.
Okay, so the move over here which leads to instant win for white is bishop into h7. I hope you all found this particular move. Bishop into h7, bishop into h7 check is the move over here which leads to instant win. If you found this particular move, then please congratulate yourself. Ideally speaking, over here, instead of rook d8, which black played after f into e5, black should have played g6. Okay, g6 leads to queen f2. Queen f2 is responded by queen a7 so that it's unpinning itself. h4, knight g7, knight b5, queen into f2, rook into f2, knight f5, and d6, rook a7 supporting the attacked bishop, h5, knight into d6, e into d6, bishop c6, h into g6, h into g6, bishop c4, rook d8, rf d2, RA D7, and this is actually equal. Personally, I would have preferred black side to be played in this particular position. But anyways, this was not what really happened in the game. To F into E5, G6 was supposed to be played, which would have led to draw or maybe a better position for black. But black played RD8, and this led to bishop sacrifice from white's end, and which wins instantly for white. So bishop into h7 is followed by king into h7. In fact, bishop into h7, you don't have much of choice. Even if you play king h8, it will lead to checkmate. The checkmate goes on like this: queen h3 followed by knight f6, because you will have bishop g6 check, and then you will have queen h7 checkmate. So you have to sacrifice your knight over here. So knight comes to f6, you play e into f6, bishop into g2, f into g7 check, king into g7, queen h6 check, king h8, bishop d3 check, king g8, queen h7 checkmate. Okay, let's see what happened in the game after bishop into h7 check. Black played king h7, white Anand played g6 check, king goes to g8, queen h3, knight f6, e into f6, f into g6, f into g7, and this is the position where black resigned. Okay, let's look once more what happened. Bishop into h7 was responded by king into h7. This was followed by g6 check. Okay, we play king g8, because the moment you take king into g6, your rooks come into picture and it's instant mate out here. There is nothing to save. So king goes to g8, queen comes to h3. There is a checkmate here. You need to prevent it. So knight f6 comes in, e into f6, e into f6. Again, there is checkmate over here. So you have to protect that. So f into g6, f into g7, and this is the position where black resigned, because anyways, any continuation will lead to debacle over here. For example, if you play rook into f1, it will lead to rook into f1, king into g7, knight into e6 check, king g8, and g5, threatening a checkmate at h7, queen c7, queen e6 check, king g7, rook f7, queen into f7, queen into f7, king h6, knight e6, rook b8, queen f4 check, king h7, queen f6, rg8, queen h4 checkmate. Okay, so rook into f1 we saw after f into g7. Rook into f1 is also losing. What happens if you take king into g7? It will lead to knight into e6 check, king g8, knight into f8, rook into d1 check, king into d1, queen d8 check, king c1, queen e7, queen b3 check, king g7, knight e6 check, king h8, queen h3 check, king g8, queen h6, and black must sacrifice his queen to save the mate. This is how white won a marvelous game over here. I hope you like this particular game. What do you think, Anthony?
You know, it's lovely. I was reading about this game yesterday. When you told about your plans of uploading a video on this game, this game was actually a turning point in Anand's career. This was the fifth round of the tournament, and Anand had three draws in last four games. By winning this game, Anand was very close to winning his life's first World Junior Chess Championship.
Actually, Anand was waiting for one more round after this match. His next opponent was Agdestein with ELO 2565. Agdestein was the highest rated player in that tournament. Did he win this match? We will see this in the forthcoming video. Till then, signing off. Thanks, Anthony, for being with us today. Thank you all for watching this video. Good day.